got some. I say Kitty Kingdom, and you immediately think what? Ghouls, right? Well, think again, half-wits. Not only did the overboss wade in there and wipe him out, he was nice enough to take the one ghoul left with half a brain and give him a friggin' job. You believe that? The
Wouldn't hurt to
operators
tip
are
the
now
scales a
kings
little in
of
our...
the castle out there, so you lot play nice. Here's
Favor,
a little something which I know you've all heard pieces of before, only this time you've got Red-Eye, the master of storytelling.
That's
to
one.
lay it on you.
So, boss, will we be reaping any rewards from your new reign? Leaving us hanging? It ain't exactly encouraging.
Understanding the operators ain't hard. We know how to live. The other gangs? Dying is more their strong suit.
Sure. Yeah, I'm here to trade, but I'm not letting my guard down for a second.
I feel kind of bad for these traders, having to wear the collars like that.
Unless you hit it.
Found some pretty good stuff while I was out on the road.
Sure, let's take a look.
I swear, half the manhole covers I open have ghouls waiting under.
Hey, Aaron.
Here to stock up or just making the rounds?
I'll take a look, sure.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, there can be no more doubt. If you had any questions, you can now rest assured that our overboss is a badass. What'd he do, you ask? Oh, nothing much. Just accomplished what we've all been waiting for, taking Nuka World over. All of it. I don't know what the overboss has planned next, but man, get behind him or get the hell out of the way. Hey, asshole!
What's
You're
up?
listening to Raider Radio. Listen up, all you junkies, lowlives, and all-around assholes. We've got a reason to celebrate.
Came a long way
In
to
case
see
you haven't
this
heard,
place.
the
This
overboss
place
has cleared
really
Hey,
out
Shelby.
Ryan
on a
Rock
Nuka
If you need
Cola.
supplies,
and it's
then I'm
all
your girl.
ours.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Right away, boss.
The operators are now in charge out there. So, if you're on their bad side, you might want to think twice check it out. You rejects understand what this means? Nuka World is ours, man. The whole friggin' park.
Ain't no one sad about Coulter. Just don't screw this up.
The traders here are no better than slaves. Poor bastards.
I'd bring my kids here someday. If not for all these raiders.
Hi there! If you have any questions about Nuka World, and remember, if you
Tell me more about these park medallions.
I'd be spread throughout the park. Once you've got a complete...
I've got a full set of park medallions.
So you do! Why, that's just Nuka-tastic! Here's your special reward. What else would you like to know?
No questions for now.
In that case, thanks for error. System malfunction.
You're still here? Get the hell out of my face, you miserable, dung-sniffing dirt scratcher!
System restored. Have a great day!
Well, look who it is. Liking what you've done with the place, boss. Gang certainly seem pleased with their new little kingdoms. Haven't seen people this revved up since last time someone spiked the water fountains. Never formally introduced myself. Name's Shank. And if you and Nuka World's favorite Cyclops are standing here, well, I suppose he expects you might be the one to finally get things back on track. How long did it take him to convince you it was time to move on the Commonwealth?
Hey now, no convincing, just a friendly conversation between like-minded individuals.
It sounded like a good idea.
Because it is. Giving the gang spots to call their own around the park, it bought you some goodwill. But providing them with their own domains, carved from the settlements of the Commonwealth, well, I can't think of a better way to solidify your place around here. Plus, make us all a pretty penny along the way. If that interests you, well, all you've got to do is say the word, and we can let the fun begin.
If I'm gonna do this, I don't want to hurt people.
No fun in that. But look, you're the overboss. You decide you want to sweet-talk the poor sods we're gonna be dealing with instead of filling them full of lead? That's up to you. But I can't change the fact that you're gonna have to run some people out of their homes so we can give them to the gangs. No one said being boss was gonna be easy. Now, you just say if this is something you're ready to move on.
I wanted to ask about your role in this.
I'm listening.
Which gang do you work for?
Don't work for the gangs. Gage brought me in to work for the overboss. Plan was I'd advise Coulter in his grand scheme to run roughshod over the Commonwealth. And despite Coulter's change of heart, I've kept my ear to the ground, just in case that day ever came. I'm hoping today might finally be it.
What is it that you get out of helping me do this?
I've been well taken care of up to this point. I ain't greedy, but people with my kind of talents aren't common. All I'm looking for is a continuation of the lifestyle I've become accustomed to, and the same piece of the Commonwealth pie everyone else around here has been itching to take a bite of.
So, what exactly is it you do?
I'll walk you through all the ins and outs of getting us established on the other side of those mountains. Claiming territory, running jobs, keeping folks loyal. Gage and Coulter also tasked me with keeping on top of the goings-on back there, so I'll provide you with guidance on the places we can hit and the places we can't. Kind of makes me your one-stop shop for causing havoc in the Commonwealth.
That was all I had.
So, does that mean you're ready to begin?
Okay, let's get started.
Music to my ears.
Shank ain't kidding. This is gonna be all kinds of fun.
So getting us set up in the Commonwealth's gonna require 3 things. Territory, provisions, and loyalty. First things first, territory. We're gonna need to claim a settlement for our gang to work from, an outpost. And there are 2 ways to claim new territory. You can head in yourself and convince the locals to leave, or I can get a crew together and you all can put them in the dirt. How you do it is up to you. So, first big decision. You want to talk them off their land, or you want to wipe them out?
I think you know what I'd rather do, boss.
Let me talk to them. I'll convince them to leave.
Works for me. Once you've planted your flag in the place, I'll send a crew in to set up shop. Now, next up, you'll have to pick who you want to hold your outpost once it's established. Of course, every outpost you claim for a gang is going to be something the other gangs don't have. And none of them like the thought of their rivals getting a leg up on them. Worth thinking over as you dole out more territory. So, which gang should I have join you once you've staked your claim?
The Pack.
Sure. I'll get a stake on a string or something.
Gotta let the dogs run around every once in a while, huh?
That just leaves the target. Now, for a new outpost, you'll usually want to target a spot with plenty of populated settlements nearby that might be able to feed our people later on. Taffington Boathouse, Croup Manor, Greentop Nursery, the Slog all had a good number of farms within striking distance last I checked. Though I'll need to go through my notes again. Make sure they're all still good to target. We're not always going to be able to run every job against every settlement. So, you ready to pick the spot for Nuka World's first new homestead?
I'm ready.
Good. So, What's the target? Wait, pretty sure that place is one of yours, boss. That's where you want to hit?
Does that matter?
Only if you want to keep control of it. Targeting a settlement for a job is gonna break whatever connections you might have had to the place. Worth taking a moment to consider how much you like having that spot under your thumb. So, that the target?
That one's the target.
Ruthless. So, to get these folks to scram, you got two main options. Buy them out, or scare them off. Either way, the more afraid they are, the simpler or cheaper getting them gone will be. Lizzie Wyeth over with the operators should have some toys that'll make running them off easier. And it's worth keeping in mind, the more populated or fortified a place is, the more prep you're gonna want to do before trying to run them off. Scare them good, boss.
This here is a song I wrote totally by myself, without any help at all.
Mason tarred and feathered the last Alphas. Ain't it, Sid? And it ain't smart to go asking about it.
Pack and disciples. Bunch of amateurs playing dress up.
Welcome back. Operators on top. Just like it should be.
If Lizzie asked you to volunteer for one for a test,
got here and
don't.
found it wasn't what Coulter promised.
Hey there.
Overboss. A pleasure. Shank said you might need some tools to ease relations with the people of the Commonwealth. Well, you've come to the right place. I've put together a couple of toys that should make getting what you want out of those rubes easier. Only thing we ask in return is that you remember the operators when you're handing out new territory on the other side of the mountains.
Don't worry, your gang will be taken care of.
Wonderful. So, first up, something to manipulate a target. It's a homemade distillation brewed to mimic human flight pheromones. Toss one of these grenades at the feet of your target, and convincing the wary settler suddenly becomes a much simpler affair. Now, to function effectively, I had to make the formula precise. So it's not going to work on people in any of the big towns like Bunker Hill or Diamond City, nor on caravanners. But for your purposes, hitting settlements out in the Commonwealth, it ought to give you a serious edge.
Take any advantage I can get.
Well, this should give you one. Here. Only had enough to make the one locally. But you can take the recipe as well, should you find yourself wanting more. So, the other trick up our sleeve is a little more broad spectrum than the grenades. Gulp down a couple lungfuls, and anyone you speak to will be far more apt to give you what you want. Plus, I've winnowed down the addiction risk to near zero. so no need to fear repeat usage. Here, ingredients for that one have been tricky to find, but between that and the grenade, you should have no problem getting at least one settlement under your control before you have to brew up your own. And just remember us when you're crushing those poor settlers underfoot, hmm?
Coulter's death is becoming the most useful murder we've had a hand in. Keep it up, boss.
Showing the operators a good life, ain't you, boss?
Is it you? 'Cause I got some.
Parlor away, boss.
Hey.
Need something from me? Hey, boss. What can I do for you?
Have any gear I can buy off you?
Sure, boss. Take a look.
Hey.
Yes? What do you want?
There's a gang of raiders coming for this place. Mine. But if you leave right now, I promise you, we won't have any problems.
You want this place? Listen, not trying to piss you off here, but I'm not sure that's gonna work. This is home.
Look, I'm trying to help you here. You need to go. Now.
Oh, that's how it's gonna... Fine. Take it. Place is all yours.
Not gonna bother you, all right?
Hey, you.
Land's yours, okay?
Gotta chase what you want to catch.
Hey.
Yeah, this place ain't too bad. We gotta get supplies coming in. Head back and tell them we're good to go here. Hey. Boss, you starving us on purpose?
All you disciples, operators, pack, guys, and whoever the hell else is out there these days. Thanks to the hard work of our kick-ass overboss.
Well, well. Rumor going around is that some big bad raider boss strolled into the Commonwealth and talked a group of settlers right off their land. Not too shabby. I'll make sure your cut of any caps the outpost pulls in are waiting in your quarters. So, now that we got part 1 on the books, we can move on to part 2, provisions. If you want to hang on to this newfound territory, you're going to need to convince a nearby settlement to start handing over shipments of supplies. I'll make sure those shipments get distributed direct to the outpost. Any caps they provide will be waiting in your trunk up in Fizztop. And the more a settlement produces for itself, the more of each we can get them to cough up. Now, like before, the method's up to you. You can try talking to them yourself, convince them to hand over the goods, or you and a crew can introduce some bullets to some kneecaps.
Let me talk to them. I'll get them to hand over what we need.
Sure. So, which crew you want keeping an eye on the place once you get them to bend the knee?
The operators.
I'll send word along. Then all that's left is the target. Only wrinkle is that it's got to be near our crew's new outpost. No settlement's just gonna hand over goods if there's no one close by to follow up on threats. And if you ever want to see for yourself which settlements are within range of our outpost, you can check the map in your Pip-Boy. The Slog might be a good choice to hit, though I'd have to confirm that's still the case. So, what's the target? Huh. Was that? Huh. I think that one's your territory, boss. You're sure that's the one you want to hit?
That one's the target.
Just wanted to make sure. So, to get these settlers to cough up provisions, they need to know that we aren't a crew to be trifled with. You can try convincing them to pay up, or you could rough them up some. Let them know we mean business. Tools from the operators could also make your life easier. And if none of that works, well, I suppose you could always try paying one of them to convince the rest. But you got options. Good luck.